So you want more speed and distance, right? So what do tour players do that you can do to generate speed? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be a tour player after this video. I mean, that would be silly, wouldn't it? But you will get faster and hit the ball longer. And of course, quality of strike, your swing path and your face control have a massive impact on consistency and overall improvements in distance and distance control. Now, don't care what anyone says, the ball is the best teacher. Now use this clever piece of kit lodged between your ears. It's better than any machine.
Because you're watching the ball flight. That tells you everything you need to know. Where the ball starts, the spin on the ball, the trajectory of the ball tells you pretty much what went on in the golf swing. So don't get so wrapped up in all the technology. Use it when it's right to use, but don't get so wrapped up in it you don't use your eyes. Because your eyes are the best barometer you can have on what's happening. You should be able to see from that shape of that shot what caused that.
And that's why I always recommend hitting shots with your feet together to gain control over the swing path, the club face, and yes, you've probably heard this from me before, so just do it.
If you think you could swing the club to your maximum capacity and not use part of your body, well, you're a fool. So if you think you should not use your hands, that's crazy. This is going to generate the most speed. And again, if you're talking amateur golfers, you know, who are hitting the ball, 220 in the air, they're not hitting it that crooked. Use your hands. You'll hit it straighter. You'll be able to hit draws and fades by using your hands, but just use your hands. Let your hands swing the club and your body follow.
Now, generally, there are two ways to increase speed, and you should be doing both.
So I want it to go straight back, which then sets the club, and from there, turn and hit and pass the ball.
Now, the first one is accelerate to break, which is something that Tommy Fleetwood has revived and got buzzing again in coaching circles.
And I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it the Tommy Fleetwood drill. Swing fast, stop hard. So the more you put the brakes on, the more you try and stop, and basically you're pulling. This is why you need to be strong. You're pulling here. The more you try and stop the head, you stop the grip, the more the head accelerates.
Now, there's nothing new here, but what can you learn? And no, accelerate and brake is not going to suit all players, but it's a great way to get all players to force energy into the club head to generate speed.
To get a good strike, to get a good release, and to get speed, we're actually going to curtail our follow through. It's impossible to stop at impact unless you're really, really super strong. It would be impossible. So if I try and stop at impact, you will find that I'm going to stop somewhere about here. That's a great way of getting speed and a great way of getting release. Right, so you're going to see me stop.
Now, there are many great wedge players that use this method with approach shots to the green, but not with their long game, with the driver or the normal swing.
We get back to 50 yards, all we're doing is going back slightly farther and we're still accelerating into the ball. This 50-yard shot is going to look very similar, only a little longer backswing. We're able to make consistent contact.
Now, as you break through impact with your hands and arms and body, the club head gets thrown forward and releases. Bingo! That's the release that everyone's talking about. It's a great way to feel how the club head reacts to natural forces and releases through impact. Now, it's a short, hard follow through, similar to that of a low stinger, firing the club head, short, hard follow through with a big turn, and the hands and arms stay low.
like so. Now I've come to a hard finish. I've made as big a turn as I can through, my body's extended up, but my arms are down still, okay? So we're trying to keep our elbows down. We're trying to be out like so. We're trying not to get a full finish here. We're not going for flat out speed here. We're going for a good strike and release.
Lovely. Now, you've said you're swinging the club better than you ever have. You work with Alan Thompson, your coach, and you called him the best coach in the world. Obviously, it's really working right now.
The Apex irons are standard blade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to pitching wedge.
Now, it all sounds great, doesn't it? But the only problem with accelerate to break is that many golfers tend to throw their upper body in from the top, coming from an outside to in, swinging across the ball. There's your slice and there's your socket.
Oh, shit. Socket.
God, does it look cold up here? Friggin' freezing. Oh. Roll on spring, eh? And if you're going to try this, which you are, aren't you? Good. I always recommend that a player firstly create some freedom between their upper body and their arm swing. To create arm speed without having to feel like you have to pull it with your bigger muscles and your upper body. Now you have to train your body to stop coming over the top. Now make a normal backswing. Now my goal is to keep my shoulders parallel to the target line when I finish the swing, and the club shaft finishes slap bang on my neck. Now in a live swing that's not really possible because momentum takes over and pulls the upper body through and past impact. Now if you're coming over the top from the outside, feel as though your shoulders are closed at impact and exaggerate the feeling.
But we used to call it holding the angle and releasing, but in the end of the day, it's actually the body, the shoulders are still shut.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest mistake an amateur can make by getting open. So and again, most amateurs think turn.
Now some players finish hard with low hands. And others just turn through with the same feeling. Now the other way to create speed and get fast softly is to use a swinger style motion. Get off. Now this is also something which all players should learn to do, to allow the club head to work freely and not be dragged or pulled around by the body. Tension in the wrong place at the wrong time will kill the best of golf swings. Tension is slow and weak.
People think that speed is generated by the torso turning, that they think if I can turn harder, I'm going to get speed. Yeah, the torso adds some speed, but minute amount of speed. Maybe 5% of this speed is coming from the torso turning extra. What actually happens is most people trying to turn it means they lose complete control of their arms and they lose their speed.
So at first, I always recommend that you feel totally relaxed in the hands, the arms, the wrists and the shoulders, and really overdo it. Wow.
I would recommend for a lot of people, start off by relaxing the arms, get them a little bit floppy and just, so hit a few shots where the arms are just relaxed. I've got a 7-iron here, I'll probably hit them, well, I've actually hit that probably 160 yards. As you can see, not a lot of effort, okay? Not a lot of effort went into that. Just relax the arms. I know we don't want to take the club away this way, but in this particular format, it's given a little bit of lag and we're looking for just a little bit extra. So really relax, okay? Relax them. And off she goes, okay?
Now feel the hands move back before the club head and feel the lag in the downswing. Obviously you wouldn't want to go to these extremes with your gamer swing, but you'll be surprised at how well and how far you hit the ball this way. And then gradually increase the speed and learn to get fast, softly, loose and relaxed. Now it's a little bit of a balancing act because you need enough pressure to hold onto the club and to control the face, but you need to be relaxed enough to allow the body to freely turn and move. But just to mention, and I'm not picking at you, I'm really not. For many golfers, relaxed is still way too tense to allow the body to correctly sequence the motion. Relax and just do it. Huh. What? I'm right, aren't I?
You know, most club golfers should spend a lot of time from some sort of, where they feel elbow height, maybe shoulder height to here. And just get that nice whipping sound. And what's interesting when I do that, I can keep the club going back and forth. If you start a golf swing, a backswing from up here, it's amazing how much you stay on plane. So people who struggle with their golf swing, it's kind of hard to get the club away from here. But you watch a lot of pros when they're standing around, they'll just push the club forward and back. So a great drill, just half swings. And look, I'm saying half swings in my head, they'd probably go longer. Okay, but it's lots of hands in that.
It's a great shot, that. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Great shot. That's a cracking shot, Leo, that. That's a long ball, that, mate. Oh, that's a great shot, Lucy. Oh, that's a cracking shot, Ruby. Way over. Great shot, that. Look at that. Hey? No messing.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.